Well, well, well. What a week last week was, prophecy-wise. Oh, by the way, we just had a little bit of a scare here, startled me anyway. We had two military aircraft taking off at very low altitude and very high speed, headed west out to the Gulf of Mexico. Don't know what's going on there. I'll follow up and see if I can find something, but usually when military is involved, it's nowhere to be found on the internet or news sources. Pardon me one moment. Coffee, I love it. Gotta have it, 1 cup a day. Pretty big cup, but just 1 cup. Yeah, the military airplanes flying out west over the Gulf of Mexico. Don't know what was going on over there, although I might remind you that Florida has had a couple of oddball things going on in the water surrounding it. A while back there was a private boat that saw a periscope from a submarine shoot up out of the water. The private boat chased it around for a while before the thing went down and motored off. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'll try to find out. But no, we don't have it. This is where I live. Here is a tourist area. There's no military stuff going on here. But now over in Tampa, they do have CENTCOM, and I suspect that's probably where the aircraft actually took off from. But if there's a threat going on out there, I'm going to try and find out. But like I say, when the military is involved, you usually don't see anything about it in the news. Well, anyway, happy Memorial Day this weekend to everybody, and much respect to our veterans out there. Thank you for your service to your country. I don't know what to say after last week. Well, let's just get on with it. And this is the prophecy that I'm going to read to you. It's Genesis 12:3. I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curses thee. Well, that's the Lord speaking to Abraham. By the way, just as a Christian, you have that same promise, because you're grafted in to the seed of Abraham. So that promise is to you too, not just to the Hebrews. All right, let's see also Jeremiah 51 verses 1 and 2. Tornadoes last week fulfill a number of end times prophecies. We have had wicked weather almost every time a president has made some sort of speech involving dividing Israel or giving up land for peace and what have you. Bill Koenig and John McTiernan have fully documented this in their books. One is Bill Koenig's is called Eye to Eye, Facing the Consequences of Dividing Israel, and John McTiernan's is God's Final Warning. And but this recent episode of tornado outbreaks is far and away the worst and most devastating in the history of Earth. Both in terms of lives lost and I think probably also in the actual numbers of tornadoes touching down and in the dollars of property lost. That's a record breaker, by the way. That's for the books. Now, if this happened when the administration simply talks about dividing up Israel, chopping it up like a pound of ground beef, can you imagine what's going to happen when they actually do it? Ooh, I don't want to be here when that happens. Thank you, Jesus. Get us out of here before that. My goodness. Because, let me give you this list of areas affected last weekend by the tornado outbreak. Minneapolis, Kansas City area, Sedalia, Missouri, Dallas, Oklahoma, Philadelphia, California, and Iowa were all hit by tornadoes in Denning, Arkansas, was totally obliterated. William Koenig has a YouTube page. You might want to check his material out there. Just put William Koenig 1, all one word, all jammed together, and into the YouTube search engine. And Koenig is spelled Koenig, just like the guy on Star Trek. I don't think they're related, though. I think one is, I don't know if he's Asian or if Russian or whatever, but anyway, nevertheless, that's how you spell it, Koenig. William Koenig 1. Now, I have a related video to this. If you haven't seen it already, check it out. It's called How Odd. That I made this just, I think, on the Monday following the Sunday outbreaks. P.P. Simmons also has a video on this, excellent video, and it's called, just type into your YouTube search this title, Amazing Prophecy Happening Now. Documented. Are we near the end? And it's, again, by P.P. Simmons, right here on YouTube. P.P. Simmons, if you haven't seen him, has got some of the best material that he puts out there. He's kind of like Joseph Farah, though. He tends to put a lot of material out there by about that birth certificate stuff. I've seen a lot of material on it, and you know, it doesn't really matter to me if he's because he's president, and they're not going to they're not going to impeach him. They didn't impeach Bill Clinton. They're not going to impeach this guy. So, you know, do with it what you want. If you want to stress it, I don't think they're going to do anything about it. He's the president. And by the way, the Bible says that it's Babylon that divides Israel, and it's the United States that is. So that tells me that spiritually speaking, America is the mystery Babylon of Revelation 17 and 18. So you might want to keep that in mind too. We're going to talk more about that in this video today. Alright, now on my Elenin video, we've got more proof that Elenin is wormwood this week, and that to see that article, you can type in Japan reports more radiation leakage. And so there you go if you want to read that. And my related video is Elenin, Planet X, and some other planet. I think it's all the same planet, and it's wormwood. So my video is titled Elenin, Planet X is Wormwood. The logic is undeniable. Okay, two more news stories last week reminded me of Revelation. This is where the Revelation 17 and 18, Mystery Babylon the Great. I told you I was going to talk about that more in a minute. The feds have been kicking around the idea that they can raid your retirement account. Now, this has been going on for a long time. A friend of mine that I worked with at the Police Athletic League many years ago, he's now deceased. Not a Christian as far as I know, but we were buds at work. They're going to raid your retirement accounts, folks. Probably in much the same way that they've been raiding our Social Security accounts. They'll steal the money out of it and drop in an IOU, which has no force in law, by the way. You can't enforce it, in other words. And they've been raiding Social Security now for, I think, at least 40 years now. Now, to see this article, the keywords are feds could seize private retirement. Feds could seize private retirements. Now, Indiana and the U.S. Supremes, this is another story, but it's related to the same Mystery Babylon. This is actually Mystery Babylon in live time. In Indiana and the U.S. Supremes have taken it upon themselves to willy-nilly allow jackbooted thug cops to invade the sanctity of your home without that pesky little court order thing. Now, to read this article, keywords are Supreme Courts affirm police state. I have a related video on this called Toast. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Knowledge has been increased comes up in the news this week. It's Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. For many shall run to and fro, knowledge shall be increased. By the way, there's a lot of new things coming out right now. So I believe the book has been opened. The seal has been broken. The book is open, and you got to study the Bible to find out what it is. And it may be more than, I think it's more than one thing. It's many things. All right, many shall run to and fro. Knowledge shall be increased. Now the keywords here to read this article is future computers DNA based. Pardon me a minute while I get another sup. Thank you for allowing me to indulge my tongue. Isaiah 11 and 65:25. Now this one is a Fox News video entitled "Dog Befriends Deer." Isaiah 11 and 65:25 are concerning the kingdom. We all know the kingdom of our God is near. Even the animals are beginning to know it. So this is a cute little video. A dog befriends a deer. A little baby deer and a little dog. I think it's I can't think of the name of the dog anyway. See it and you'll see the video and you'll see it. Alright, moving along to the last article of this last week is out of Matthew 10 and 22. It says, "Ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake." Now, what has happened? Apparently some ungodly Christ haters interrupted the Hagee sermon last week. Now, let's remind you of the Philadelphia 11 Christian peaceful protesters. They were actually arrested, and I believe most, if not all, were initially convicted. But these left-wing haters only got warnings. They arrest Christians, which are right, and give warnings to Christ haters who are on the left wing. Can anybody say double standard? Well, there you go. I certainly can see it. This article also reminded me of a WorldNet Daily article I saw years ago. And to read that article, type into your search engine this headline, 10 Most Spiked Stories of 2001. It'll pop up right there, number one, under the sponsored results. Just ignore sponsored results and go to the first actual article that you get. Now, to see the article about Hagee's sermon protesters, use these key words. Police issue warnings, Hagee sermon protesters. So there you go. Christ and Christians are being hated all over the place. They're prosecuting Christians and giving mere warnings to those on the other side of the political spectrum. Letting them go. They don't even get charged. Just give them a little piece of paper that says, "Warning, don't do this again, or we'll have to slap your wrist a little harder next time." Now, if you want to donate to my website, that website, by the way, being ourchurch.com/member/a/in AHS for Ancient Hebrew Scriptures. Just drop me an email. Go to that website, then drop me an email if you want to help me out with keeping this material going on the internet, and keep my website up, and software and hardware and all the rest of it that I have to have. Now, don't forget to trust Jesus today. There's over 200 people in Joplin, Missouri that can't trust Him today. Don't let that happen to you. Don't drop off into eternity without Christ. You just trust Him by calling on His name. You just ask forgiveness, and that's all you have to do. What did the thief on the cross say? He said, "Remember me, Lord, when you come into your kingdom." He meant business with God, so what Jesus said to him back was this: "Today you will be with me in paradise." And he was. Just call on His name. It's the same. You know? All these nonsense ideas that you got to join the church and you got to go through catechism and ecumenicism and this, that, and the other. That's all not. Just call on His name. That's all it is to it. But you got to mean business. It won't work if you don't. The eagle will be back. But I'm out for now. Love you.